What's happening? Brian Tong here, and welcome to the Apple Byte for all the good and bad inside the world of Apple. Now, I know we were gone last week, but we're making it up to you with a little longer show and our can of chicken noodle soup giveaway.
The following is not a paid advertisement for Campbell's Soup.
See, awesome. Totally worth it. All right, now to the stories. We know Apple posted record iPad sales numbers, selling over 3 million units in its first weekend, and that didn't even include pre-orders, but it's not all roses for the Cupertino kids. Overseas, there have been complaints by regulators about the term 4G because the networks in countries like Australia, home of the very cute tree-dwelling koala, use different frequency bands and are not compatible. Apple's now offering full refunds to our mates down under that feel like they were being misled and treated like didgeridoo-doo. Now, European countries like Sweden and the UK are also investigating the 4G fracas because of their strict regulation of advertising claims. But that's not all. There were all the stories about the iPad still not being fully charged all the way, even when it showed it was 100% charged. But whatever you read, and no matter what Apple says, guess what? You're still getting 10 plus hours of the promised battery life, so that's a non-issue. And let's not forget about the overheating hysteria. So the new iPad runs a little warmer, but that's it. It doesn't run any hotter than a laptop, and it's another non-issue. But Apple, known for spinning things their way, should have taken advantage of this golden opportunity. Just think about it. The new iPad's heat feature allows you to do things you've never done before, like cook a warm meal wherever you are on a lonely day in the streets, or save you time as a portable iron for that all-important job interview. See, you could have done it, but you dropped the ball, Apple. Now, in a follow-up to the Foxconn story, the Fair Labor Association finished their audit and says the manufacturer had violations in working hours and compensation, but they plan on fixing the situation. The report says 60% of workers were not being paid enough to meet their basic needs, and work weeks that hit as high as 60 hours per week will be scaled back to 49 hours. Now, in other news, a new study says 87% of iPhone 4S owners use Siri monthly, not daily or even weekly, but monthly, which really isn't that much when you think about it. There's already a few class action lawsuits against Apple claiming that Siri doesn't work as advertised, but you might not care if you're a sports fan if it actually works. ESPN has released its developer APIs for accessing sports scores to strategic partners, and as part of the ABC-Disney relationship that's very close to Apple, a report from Apple Insider claims they are ready to add sports scores into the Siri mix. So Golden State Warrior fans will only need to ask Siri, how much are the Warriors losing by tonight? Oh. All right, let's take a quick break to check out an app of the week from my man, Jason Parker, and it's a good one.
Just about everyone who has a smartphone knows about Angry Birds. Rovio released Angry Birds Space, a game that takes the same winning concept but adds interesting twists with gravity fields, asteroids, and new birds to experiment with in an entirely outer space environment. The game starts you off easy, so you can get used to the new concept of gravity fields. Now, when you fire a bird towards a planet or asteroid, the bird will go into orbit around the object within the gravity field, sometimes giving you several chances to hit your targets. As you progress through the game, the levels get significantly more difficult, with multiple gravity fields, asteroids that block your path, and other interesting objects and obstacles that require some thought before you fling your bird. There are 60 levels to play through, and some will definitely have you hitting the reset button numerous times to get that perfect shot. Fortunately, on particularly difficult levels, you have the option to use the new Space Eagle. The ultra-powerful Eagle in the original Angry Birds games pretty much meant you could beat any level, but this new Space Eagle creates a black hole once you tap the screen, and has the explosive power to take out a large area of the level. It's still possible to miss some pigs though, depending on where you place the Space Eagle. Just like the original Angry Birds, you can get up to 3 stars based on how efficiently you can take out all the pigs, so it's still important to try to get them all in one shot. Another new addition comes in the form of bonus levels that are a nod to classic video games. Hitting a randomly placed hidden golden egg asteroid causes a wormhole that sends you to a special level. The level I encountered seemed to resemble classic Super Mario games. Once cleared, you'll take the wormhole right back to where you left off. It's important to note that unlike spin-offs Angry Birds Rio and Angry Birds Seasons, while fun, were mostly about putting a new theme and some extra levels on the original. Angry Birds Space is a completely new game. With new birds, new levels to figure out, and some secret levels you can warp to, it's easy to recommend everyone tap this app immediately. Angry Bird Space goes for 99 cents for the phone versions on both iOS and Android, and $2.99 for the HD version on both as well.
Thanks, Jason. Maybe next time you could smile for me at the end, you know, like... Okay. All right, now in some cool patent news involving Siri, Apple could be interested in bringing Siri to the Mac by pairing it with an iPhone. A new patent filing called Voice Control System from the Big A describes a remote device communicatively coupled to an electronic device that runs Siri. Now, this would keep the voice processing exclusive to the phone no matter where you are, and the phone's constant data connection would allow the speech functionality to always work when it pings its servers. Also, if you're wondering what's happening with the Apple TV stuff, a new report from research group CSLA says it will be coming out in 2013. Now, right now, you can pick any day or year you want, but not everyone can be Nostradamus. All right, now we know not all of these patents come to the market, but another one for Apple's advanced TV remote describes a process where you can take a photo of your current remote that's then sent to the iCloud for analysis. Then it sends a virtual copy of your remote back to your phone with all its functionality. It's like magic. Then you'll be able to control your current TV with this new Apple remote. Mind blown. All right, to the quick bites. A new Digitimes rumor claims the new 15-inch MacBook Pro will be ramping up production in April, but the 13-inch model will be ramping up in June. The April timing falls in line with the availability of Intel's new Ivy Bridge chip line, with a launch for sometime this summer. And if you're one of the many people who lived through the iPhone 4's antenna gate and you never took advantage of Apple's bumper case offer, a new webpage called iPhone4settlement.com is where you can collect a hefty $15 settlement. That's a full meal at Boston Market with those little tasty cornbread loaves and my gosh, that mac and cheese on the side. Now, this applies to people who bought their phone before February 17, 2012, and you'll have until August 28th to file your claim. But if you guys are looking to collect big time from Apple, just walk into an Apple store. Literally. An 83-year-old Evelyn Paswell walked into the glass door of an Apple store in Manhasset, Long Island, and broke her nose. She's now suing Apple for $1 million. Now she claims she still has great eyesight, saying, "I may be elderly, but I'm very active, and I'm still driving too." Note to self, stay away from Long Island roads. Now, I know this has happened to some of you before, but come on! Walking into a glass door at an Apple store? Who does that? Who is that stupid? Pay attention, walk with your head up. It's actually very easy. All right, that's going to do it for this week's show. Send us your emails to the Apple Byte at CNET.com. And if you want that can of chicken soup, we'll send it to you. I'm Brian Tong. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time for another Bite of the Apple. Here. And she called me on. Oh.